read on some things, but we kept digging so that we figure out a direction. And they were DMing them, and I was telling them, I'm not falling for that bait. I'm focusing on something else. And then now this is a different space, and it's still the same thing. Just take a moment and look yourself in the mirror and say, what is going on? Think about what goes through with Max's Rex Masai's mom. Put yourself in there. And even that day is what I told you guys. Put yourself, if that was your child, if that was your brother, what would you want people to do? So let's not make issue on that. And even that day, Rasi asked me to apologize. And I said, I won't apologize. We had a different space. And my friends were like, oh, what really happened? I was like, nothing, why didn't you apologize? And
because you called my name out, nothing. You know your name.
I did call. You are not the only name I called out.
No, I was the only woman you called out. The other guys, you called them, the other guys who've left. But you said, do not give Redemptor a mic. And I'm just saying, and I'm saying this with a lot of humility, because I've met you in a Christian space. The way you're saying I look myself in the mirror, to call out some moment, I said that on that day. I told you guys about the people we have lost, about the people who have injured. Any space I speak on, that is, I start by saluting our lost comrade. So let's not trivialize that. It's not about guilt tripping. It's a fact. Someone is living that as their reality. So let's focus on what we need to do. Let's save every life we can. Let's help where we can. That's a direction as a country. We were not freedom fighters 3 months ago, but we have a country. We cannot unlearn the things that we have learned. The only way is to fail forward. And I said, do not give anybody a mic unless they are retweeting free morara, because we are not here for notoriety. We are here with a purpose, and our purpose is save Kenya. That is what I said. I said, don't give people who are not retweeting this a mic. That's what I told Kenatorai and KOT. Then you mentioned my name, said don't give Redemptor, and I'm not even requested for the mic.
And you're not the only name I
No, but you mentioned nothing. You mentioned my name in a space on a day that everyone was hurting. You mentioned my name, and now you say you're standing by. You said everyone has to retreat. Retreating is not the only thing that people do to serve the people who are hurt. So do not bring Rex's name in this fight. This is between me and you. It has nothing with the fallen comrades. And I keep bringing it up because there was a young man who died before Rex, and the forgotten victims for me were, there was a lot of, okay, where's the guy who left? There's an idol worship of, if someone is put on a pedestal there, and I want you to note this, there are many people who people don't even make a poster for. They're forgotten victims. So I knew this guy was taken care of. Tweeting is not my strength. X is a new thing to me. So when you judge people on Twitter and you call out someone by name, and your name is not your real name, I just want you, then the reason why I'm talking to you again, because you came to that space and you left before I spoke, was Redemptor. As long as someone is putting their name out there.
Redemptor and nothing Afro Kiasi too, because I've handled these two ladies. They are very wonderful ladies. And Redemptor and nothing, I think we are comrades in the same journey. We are Kenyans with a common enemy. Our enemy is one. Our issues, whatever we are talking here, we are all talking the same language. We're talking the same language. I thought this was over on KOT space. I thought you had, please let us not go there. I kindly.
That's the only reason thank you,
Rasti. Thank you, Rasti. Thank you. People, even my DM guys are saying, drop that issue. Let's focus on what is important.
So finish nothing. Just finish what you are saying. So put that one aside. We'll handle it later. But let us just focus on the read.
That's on the back. Thank you, Rusty. Back pedal.
We are a family at the end of the day, and sometimes, house cleaning is very important. A Redemptor is not a cherubim, and nothing is not a seraphim, and I am not Angel Michael. We are human beings, and sometimes, by the way, do you know 80% of communication is not verbal? So to misunderstand each other is allowed. And we can disagree on methodology, but we should never differ from in terms of principle. So of how we do things, on how we communicate things, it can be different. But like Rasji said, the principle is one, the objective is one. Ruto must go. And I've listened to Redemptor, and I think both of them, Ruto must go. And Redemptor, please have a lot of allowance towards nothing Kenyan if she was asking for everyone to retweet the hashtag Justice for Bruce. I am a host and I've been a co-host, and sometimes it is very annoying. I remember in June when we were saying stop killings in Githurai and stop killings in Rongai, and I would take the mic and I say, guys, this has to be number one on the timeline. Everyone, we are 2,000 in this space, retweet. And just like 200 people, the rest are just watching. And I wish we were in an auditorium like Bomas. I would go around and just slap everyone who is not. Like sometimes when an issue has entered your veins, please understand when the co-host or the host or anyone, a speaker, is on another dimension, like they are feeling this deeply. And also understand the people who are not, because there are people who are listening, the people who are at work right now, they have headphones, are in, we have Kenyans in the diaspora, in Dubai, Australia, they can't respond. Maybe they're operating machinery, maybe on the computer, they can't respond. And some people are just curious, like what's going on? What's going on? And in every working system, 20%, go to any organization, 20% of the people affect 100%. The rest are just spectators. So if 20%, me I always gauge mathematically, if we are here 250, provided 20% are engaging, me, I'm good. But in terms of getting 100%, it will never work. But I will ask, like Rasji has called on nothing and Redemptor, please, let's squash this, because this is not there's no real enmity between you two. It's just a misunderstanding. Understand nothing. He was very passionate. Kenyan was passionate about where she was coming from in terms of free justice for Bruce. We know what the atrocity, what was done to him by the Mombasa governor. And then Redemptor also, who she has explained, she had a long day and she has been fighting for this movement in different capacities and different forces. So to be called out on a space like that and being told not be given a mic, when I say I give a mic immediately, because I know, hey, the work she does, and just to identify with us. And I also had her on another. She was on, she's very new, so she doesn't know which parts of the forest not to go. Aliingia ile msitu ya Kibe na ule IQ Watson na walianza kumkaranga. And I was there listening secretly. Jones is anonymous. On these streets, you have to be, anonymous. And also, because Redemptor akisema, me, I am with the movement, and I am with those radical. Because they were trying to flip her to be pro. Yeah, you need to know who you associate with. You just can't be associating with people for because you will be working with DCI and you don't know. So welcome to Twitter Streets, Redemptor. It is cutthroat here, but we also tell you the truth. A spoon is a spoon here, not a big. A spade is a spade, not a big spoon. But guys, let's move forward. Pamazuka, Mike Nyako.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Habari zenu jamani. Okay. Thank you for this space. Today, I want to just tell you a short story. I was triggered today when I saw Casmuel after I had witnessed Morara being attacked. What triggered me was he reminded me of the late Sir Charles Njonjo, the Attorney General of Kenya. And the reason he reminded me of him was we used to call Sir Charles Njonjo four-piece suit Njonjo. And the reason we called him that was because, in retrospect, I really believe he loved the Brits more than he loved himself. And the reason why I was triggered today is because I grew up coming from school. I went to Muthaiga Primary School. It was during the time, around the time J.M. Kariuki's body had been found. And I would come home. I was fortunate enough to have grown up in East Africa's earliest indigenous art gallery. And I would sit next to Samuel Wanjau, the late, who would tell me stories about the hole that I noticed he had in his elbow and how he got it from the home guards. He was a Mau Mau freedom fighter, and he was a resident artist, and he had developed a skill in sculpting, and his sculptures were beautiful. He was gifted and recognized to the extent that he was commissioned to carve a statue that was going to be placed in front of Parliament buildings. Okay? He took a long time to create the framework for the Mau Mau freedom fighter. I used to run from school to sit behind the compound and watch him. And he would tell me songs, and he would sing songs in Kikuyu. Finally, the project was done, and it was time for it to be delivered to Parliament buildings. So, of course, Sir Charles Njonjo was in charge of coming and making sure that it was in good shape to be taken there. Guess what? He came and he shattered Samuel Wanjau's dreams of his work being placed in front of Parliament buildings. His life's work, a representation of what he himself had gone through as a Mau Mau freedom fighter. And the reason that Charles Njonjo gave was it's too raw for public places. It's too angry. Okay? So when I saw Casmoil today, the sellout that he is in his gear and garb, it brought back that memory. And I said, as much as things change, some things stay the same. And for me, this movement means to me what nothing KE had said earlier. Each of us have our spaces, our voices. For me, my space is going to be creating healing spaces where creatives are not suppressed, okay? Because what I witnessed after that was the downhill spiral of Samuel Wanjau's life, and I'm currently writing my memoir, and I'm going to have it ready next year, and I'm going to have it published, and it's going to be a reimagining of new creative spaces in Kenya. And I believe this movement is going to alight in all of us a fire to be true to who we are. Because as we see things evolve, I don't know if it's the journey or the destination that really matters at this point. I don't think there's a destination, because with every chip of the cement that Samuel Wanjau went through, right? With every song he sang, he didn't get to the destination he wanted to. Sadly, he died a poor man, but there are lessons that other artists around him learned. I learned lessons too. So I just, felt very passionate today when I saw what I saw. But I'm also very encouraged, because when I saw Caroline Cheptu, I saw, the older generation talking, with having found their voice. I am very, very encouraged. So that's the story I wanted to share with you all today. And thank you so much for the opportunity.